Smooth. My birth name is Seth, but my friends call me Silky. And let me just make sure that everything is running correct here. Getting some craziness. Don't get crazy now. All right. So, anyways, let's get everything else set up here. Make sure the chat's going. Make sure that's rocking and rolling. Boom. You guys are seeing it happening. The connections, all that stuff. All right. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about a few things tonight. This is Sovereign Starseed. It's a channel where we talk about cryptocurrencies. We talk about esoteric wisdom. We just do like vlogging, real life stuff, just hanging out. And today, I wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things, just crypto news, because there's so much news that goes on so fast that we got to end up getting this stuff every day almost. We almost got to get this stuff like multiple times a day. Because, yeah, today, let's go ahead and get right into it. Today, the first thing that I want to talk about is Lebanon. Lebanon, it's basically taking a stab at Bitcoin. And I'll just read this part that Coindesk.com has pointed up for us tonight. It says Lebanon central bank governor disses Bitcoin at central currency launch. This actually just came out a couple days ago. And basically, the governor, Riyad Salameh, has told his attendees that these bitcoins are not currencies, but rather a commodity whose prices rise and fall without any justification. For this reason, BDL has banned the use of this currency in the Lebanese market. All right, so that's pretty interesting because, Lebanon is starting to take their stance on what Bitcoin is, and clearly they're closed-minded to it. So we're going to see kind of how their country survives and how their country goes along with what's happening with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. And when you decide to opt out of something that's so beautiful that's happening to Earth, then yeah, you're going to end up missing out. It's going to end up hurting only you in the end and your people. So, to anybody that's using cryptocurrencies in Lebanon that may be watching this already, just all I have to say is that, like, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that you end up finding some good workarounds so that way you can still do your business. Yeah, so, that's just something that's interesting because, as we can see, there are some countries that are open to it, some countries aren't. Next, I want to go ahead and talk about Bitcoin's intrinsic value. So, basically, this is something that's really cool where Forbes comes out, and Forbes is talking in response to how it loves Bitcoin. And it says, here's what gold bugs miss about Bitcoin's intrinsic value. And so basically, what it goes on to talk about is how Bitcoin not being backed by something physical is not something that was like overlooked when this was being created, but this was something that was built in. And so the fact that Bitcoin is not backed by something physical, like a metal, that's what makes it beautiful. That's also what makes it a feature, and it makes it awesome. So, I can go deep into this, and if you guys are interested, throw something out. If the chat is messing up or anything like that, just call it out, let me know. But as it is right now, I just definitely want to end up like giving you guys that information here where um yeah, like Bitcoin. So here's what's interesting is that the US dollar is the current prevailing like currency on the planet, right? and everybody kind of like uses it, or they back their currencies on it. And what I think that's really interesting about that is that um, the US dollar is itself trying to say that it's been backed by different metals in the past. And when the US dollar came out, it was backed by silver and gold. And then basically the gold standard left pretty fast when people started to try to cash in their dollars for gold. And then the silver standard also left as well. So what I could say is that now our money isn't backed by anything physical, and people there's a movement of people out there that want to back their dollars with something physical, and they think that the whole value of this is that you were able to go and turn this piece of paper into something real that you can hold. And while I don't disagree with this, I do want to point out the fact that I myself, when I look at something like Bitcoin, and actually now that I look at, fiat money in this regard, I can agree with this as well. But I would not want my Bitcoin to be backed by a limited resource such as gold. I would not want my US dollars to be backed by something like a physical resource such as gold. Why? Why would you say that? Well, it's because, in my opinion, this stuff fluctuates all the time, and people's value, people's interest inside these like vehicles of value, whether that be gold, whether that be, you know, um, like bonds, whether that be like other documents, like treasury bonds, whether that be like CDs, certificates, things like that, stocks, where you are able to invest your value into something like a company. Well, those things are like some of those things, whenever they're backed by something physical, it makes it hard for that thing which you're trying to back to move with the markets as the markets need to move. And it's because as the markets move, it has to account for all this physical crap that's tied on to this like digital good or this paper good. And so while I have to say that there isn't anything wrong with the fact that some of our assets are backed by physical objects, that is good. Got it, feel it. But like at the same time, I feel it's also important to say that it's beautiful to invest in vehicles where you will never see something physically backing it. And that's so that that way you can see that investment vehicle move and fluctuate with the markets a lot easier, because it's not going to have to account for all these physical items and having people like account for these physical items and register these physical items and all of these things like that and track these physical items. So when you have something such as like a blockchain, that's just basically your ledger, which is what's backing everybody's value. Well, then you can see how easy it is to incorporate that blockchain into other things, such as like your whatever you're trying to offer. You can incorporate the blockchain, especially things like the Ethereum blockchain. And I'm getting way off topic with this, but I just want you guys to see that like this is something that was built in as a feature, and it's been built in to make sure that Bitcoin is not backed by something physical. Okay? And so, I want you guys to know that. And that's the way that I see it right now. I'm just one man, just one opinion. That thing can change at any time. But what I'm trying to say right now is that's why I like cryptocurrencies. That's why I like Bitcoin. Because I can take my Bitcoin wallet, and if everything was stolen from me, like over here in the US, and like say I needed to go to like Europe tomorrow, say I'm in Europe and everything is stolen from me. Well, all I need to do is download another wallet, download my private keys, and then I would be able to continue using my money anywhere within about 15 minutes of me just downloading a wallet, putting my keys in there, and letting it sync up to the blockchain. Okay, so this is so much faster than if you were to have your things stolen from you and you need to shut down your credit cards, wait for new ones to get mailed to you, activate the new ones, then go and spend them. Like, what you'll do here is you'll just download a new wallet, maybe even download the same, you wouldn't even download a new wallet, you'll just keep the same client, and you'll just create a new wallet. Like, create just like a new little receive address in that wallet, and then you're receiving your coins again in 15 minutes. Don't have to ask anybody, don't have to wait. And there are companies right now that are going to be putting themselves on the line to try to make sure that we have these tools to make this type of transaction as easy as possible going forward. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to see that is that Bitcoin, it's not supposed to have an intrinsic value. It never was. So if you're looking at Bitcoin for some type of intrinsic value, you're missing the point. Okay, so just wanted to end up saying that. Next, let's go ahead and talk about social media tokens. Okay, SMTs are something that's going to be huge coming up. So what this is talking about basically is this is newsbtc.com putting out something where they're basically talking about how like social media is something that is not as typical as it once was, and it's changing, and there are people in social media that are now able to sponsor like certain products, and they're able to partner with brands of those products. And what social media is going to do with SMTs, social media tokens, is it's going to be a medium of exchange between advertisers and creators. So, even like, people like me, at some point there might end up being somebody that ends up saying, hey, there's a social media token that I want to pay you, or I want to give you X amount of social media tokens if you'll talk about this product on your channel. So something like that might end up happening. And like this is basically how it's happening right now, where there's like a lot of people already on like other social media platforms that are getting so much money for just, wearing some clothes or like reviewing some product. So, because of that, that's something where they're getting free products right now, or they may get money, or they may get like exposure. But social media tokens are going to be a way for these advertisers to pay influencers in the future. So I just wanted to talk about that. Next, I just wanted to talk about Jordan Belfort, The Wolf on Wall Street. Yeah, anybody ever see that movie? That was pretty cool. So The Wolf on Wall Street, what's he talking about? What's he got to say, huh? So The Wolf on Wall Street, this is pretty interesting, guys. What he's trying to talk about is that he's saying that Bitcoin is basically, he's saying that it's a fraud, but like it's like a huge scam. And he says people all over the world who know nothing about what they're buying, they're just operating with the greater fool theory, meaning if there's someone more foolish than me, you'll buy it at a higher price, then it's a great price. Then if it's a great price, then it's a great price where it is. There is no value, it's just pure speculation. It reminds me exactly of 2005, 2006 in the mortgage market when you're getting your haircut and your haircutter says, oh, I also sell mortgages now. It's like everybody and their grandma became involved in real estate and mortgages. That's what's happening with Bitcoin. So while he's not wrong where everybody's getting involved in this, which is a great thing, he's trying to say that Bitcoin in and of itself won't be able to support all of this onboarding of people. And it's because a lot of people are just onboarding without understanding or knowing what's going on or knowing what it is. If that's you, it's okay. Just continue to stay tuned into this channel. Just look at some Bitcoin stuff every day, and you will start to catch on, and you'll start to see what's going on. Because you do need to know about this stuff, because before a lot of us die here on this planet, it's gonna be affecting us. So, just want you guys to know that, and that right now it isn't. It's what he's talking about is a bubble that I can see why he would say that, but I don't necessarily agree with. And I think that the adoption is just going to go further and further and further and further and further, and people are going to find out further about all these other things that like the banks are just going to kind of like step to the background because nobody's going to be going in them anymore, and so they're going to have to find new jobs. Bankers are going to have to find like normal jobs like the rest of us. Uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. So like that's part of it. So Bitcoin, Jordan Belfort, that's how he thinks about it. He thinks that it's a scam. Next, I just wanted to talk real fast about this. Air Brands is getting a new name. It's going to be called Edge Wallet, and basically, this newsbtc.com put this article out saying that it raises the bar for all Bitcoin wallets, and that's because it's talking about how it's going to support Segwit for both Bitcoin and Litecoin. And what Segwit is, in the quickest way of explaining it, is you may have seen this segwit2x, Segwit, all of this stuff. What is that? What does that mean? That basically means that there's this thing, stands for segregated witness. And if you want, you can look deeper into that. But it's a way to help us process transactions faster. And that's the quickest way to put it. But if you're interested in learning more about it, which isn't bad, I'd definitely say educate yourself. Educate yourself as much as possible on the things that I talk about here and the things that you're learning about elsewhere as well. But educate yourself on what Segwit is, what segwit2x is, why it's important. Once you find that out, come back, pop your answers in the chat. Let's see it. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on, what you learn. That's what this channel's about, baby. So, anyways, just wanted to talk about that just because it's going to be doing some things for the market of crypto wallets that a lot of wallets are going to have to follow by default. And the fact that it's already on board with that shows that their developers really understand what's going on. So, other than that, I also wanted to talk about last ETHconnect. ETHconnect? What is ETHconnect? So basically it's a project aimed to create a lending platform of trust and reputation within the Ethereum ecosystem. And basically Ethereum is an alternative coin to Bitcoin. And you may have seen on some of my previous videos, maybe on my previous channel if you're following me from there, that I am heavily invested into BitConnect, which deals with compounding your Bitcoins on a daily basis. And if you want to learn more about that, you could just go ahead and either click on the referral link below and sign up, or you can also send me a message and I'd be happy to help you. But ETHconnect, this is pretty much the same thing as BitConnect, but using the alt currency Ethereum. And this, I think, is very hot. I think this is going to be very, very hot. So ETHconnect is something that you guys are going to be able to see me pretty much get into, participate in, and see if it pays out. If it works well at any point, sign up for it. Sign up for it now if you want to end up getting into it and following my moves as I make these moves. But, there's nothing wrong with just watching me do it first, see if, they run off with the money, or see if they end up paying it all back. So ETHconnect is something that I'm going to be getting into here shortly. And the other things that I wanted to say is that, what questions do you guys have? I'm going to be streaming at different times on different like platforms and things like that. So I just got some other things set up. Like I got like the Anchor going. I got like the Snapchat going. I got all these things going, and I'm learning all about them, and that's okay. I'm totally okay with like understanding and falling on my face as I go. So if any of you guys are following me on those networks, you may see some weird like tweets, or not tweets because I know Twitter pretty well, but like you may see some like things like um just I don't know, just weird snaps on Snapchat, some weird pictures on Instagram because I'm learning about that. So, yeah, anyways, I'm having a lot of fun with all of this. If you guys are interested in seeing and connecting with me in any of those other platforms and seeing me learn those and learning with me, or even helping me out, definitely go ahead and check out the YouTube description for all of the follow links. Also, make sure that you get into the Discord room. The Discord room is going to be something that's going to be way fun. That we're going to be able to talk all the time, even when I'm not streaming, about things. And then if you like this content, go ahead and leave a like on wherever you're at. Give a heart or whatever you got to do, on the website you're seeing this on, and then subscribe. That lets me know that what I'm doing is good and that people want to continue to see it. Make sure that you comment if you have any questions or send me a message. And then, make sure that if you found any value in this and you know one of your friends that would get value in this, do us all a favor and share it. It would only help us all. And so, other than that, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. And in the next episode, I will see you guys probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then maybe the next day. But this has been excellent. This has been so much fun. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.